Yang Huaiding says he has the secret to making money. And he should know, he's made lots of it. One of China's first and most famous investors, Yang made his fortune in a market buzzing from economic reform. And now, in an act of entrepreneurial kindness, Yang wants to share his secret with you.
You can figure out where you will make money.
Earning himself the nickname Millionaire Yang, he was a legend on China's newly established stock market as a wheeler and dealer. Amassing a fortune considered back then as monstrous, he became a grassroots leader for retail investors, hedging their bets on China's fledgling capital market.
My story started when China embraced reform and opened up to the outside world. It helped me realize my dream of riches. Looking back, I realized my personal success was closely related with the change of era.
With China now creating millionaires at a record rate, Yang is no longer such a novelty. But he's still a legend here, the living, breathing example of the get-rich-quick dream, which has gripped the country over the past 30 years. Yang continues to dabble in the stock market, from his slightly more modest base, here in this rented office. But his first move came back in 1988, when he made the bold decision to snap up treasury bills, marking him as one of the country's earliest investors. Yang's move was made all the more brave then because most of the country was still skeptical about China's economic reforms. As a small investor, Yang didn't have the benefit of industry information. Instead, it was the state-run People's Daily, the governing party's mouthpiece, where he got his first tip.
It was April 21st, 1988. The central government was marketing public debt. On that day, I had only 2,000 yuan. I borrowed more money and managed to obtain 20,000 yuan. Then I bought it.
Continuing his initiation of fire and the rules of investment, Yang discovered bill prices in Hefei City in China's east were lower than in Shanghai. So, he bought in Hefei and sold in Shanghai. He earned more than 1,000 yuan on his first transaction. The average annual income back then was only 300 yuan. Soon Yang's purse was heaving under the weight of several 100,000 yuan.
I earned money, of course. On the other hand, I also blazed a trail and built market confidence.
But his get-rich story raised eyebrows at the time, with some questioning the legality of his trading. But it's Yang who's had the last laugh.
Look at the issuance of treasury bonds today. There are long lines in front of the banks.
In 1998, China's economy slowed down. It was widely reported the central bank would adopt a stimulative policy by reducing interest rates. Yang saw his chance again. With the government encouraging investment, he knew China's newly established stock market would take off. And again, people questioned his tactics. Only this time, they warned he would be the one to lose out. And again, Yang was on a sure bet. The stock he bought for 100 yuan per share rocketed to 2,200 yuan. He made a killing. Soon investors were using Yang as a barometer for which stocks to buy and which to avoid. When the Shanghai Stock Index increased from 100 points to 1,400 points in 1992, Yang knew the bubble was about to burst. He turned back to treasury bills. When the index dropped down to 392 points, he wasn't among the dizzy investors who failed to follow suit. Yang showed his millionaire medal again.
The secret of making money in stock market is to buy it at lower points and flee at higher points. Knowing it, you can find chances are open to you every year.
Buoyed by his buying, once again small investors followed suit, restoring market confidence. This month, China's government announced a new round of reforms. Among them will be a greater focus on private sector investment, service industries, and a boost for the sluggish stock market. So what is the secret to getting rich in China?
An old saying has it that success goes to those who are prepared for it. The decisions adopted by party session is the bonanza. You can learn from those where to make money.
While Yang's purse is not as impressive as it was 20 years ago, China's original millionaire is still doing pretty well.
I'm growing old, and I'm not as sharp anymore. But the interest on my deposit amounts to tens of thousands of yuan, enough for retirement.
The poster boy for the Get Rich Club has this advice for the next generation of entrepreneurs.
I hope the younger generation won't give up. We are at a turning point after this year's party session. The road is under your feet. You can achieve success.